Hey everyone, GM. GM. How's it going, you guys? We'll wait for just a little bit for Lisa to join us. Oh, I see Lisa. There we go. Cool.
Hello, hello, Jam. Excited for this one.
Cool. Yeah, let's kick it off. Hey everybody, welcome back to our workshops. Today I'm joined by Lisa, DevRel engineer at Aztec, and she'll be going over how to build, what to build, and then I'll be sharing more on prizes. So Lisa, I'll let you take it from here.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited for this session. Let me share my screen, and we are good to go. You can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Perfect. So today's session is dedicated to the question, what to build and why to build. Because very often when doesn't matter if it's like 1 weekend hackathon or like it's a month-long hackathon, I see a lot of folks who are very excited to jump in, but then when it comes like, okay, but what to build? It's a might be a bit tricky to come up with idea that will be both doable within the hackathon and also qualify for good prizes and also meet personal goals. And today we're going to talk about all of that. So general rule of our hackathon is build whatever you want with Noir. And there is no real rule except for that one. Well, for some people, it can be like really cool because they have a lot of ideas. For other people, it might be a problem because like whatever, what is whatever, how to come up with whatever. That's why what we're going to do now, we'll look at this from two perspectives. First, we'll look from the perspective, what are the resources at our disposal? What do we have? What we can do? And then we'll switch to another side and think about what to build with these resources and how to make this decision. So the very basics, we have Noir, universal ZK language to build with. Then in Noir, we have some libraries, some really interesting, exciting libraries. Going through some of them, ZK JSON Web Token that low-key allows you to ZK prove sign in with Google. Sign in with Google, for those who is not familiar, is the gadget that returns to the third-party app a bunch of information about the user, such as name and email and the domain of this email, and so on and so forth. ZK email library is the library that allows to generate proofs related to information contained in emails. And then ZK Passport, privacy preserving proofs of information that is contained in passports, such as name or country issuing the passport. And then basic Merkle tree membership proofs. And then CoNoir, that's also sometimes called CoSNARK, a library for witness extension and proof generation inside MPC. Like collaborative proof generation by multiple parties, in other words. And then when we have our Noir proofs, we also can verify them on different networks. Today, it will be Aztec, Starknet, and most EVM chains. And while thinking which network to choose, it will be the question of what exactly you want to build. The main difference is that on Aztec, you can have blended state where you have both private and public state. And it allows you to build applications where some functions and variables are private and some are public. If you need this feature for your application, it makes sense trying to build an Aztec. If you want to build something that can be monolithically private, meaning that on one hand, on one side you put inputs, then something privately happened that should be verified, and then on another side you get output. Then you can build, you can deploy an EVM chain or a Starknet. Just for a taste of how these libraries can be utilized, for example, for ZK JSON Web Token, Salil built Stealth Node, an app that allows people in an organization to anonymously broadcast messages. So for example, it will be like a forum where you see that someone from ASEC posted the message. It's proven that this person holds an Aztec email, but you don't know who's that and you can't learn it. Sabine, by the way, will have a workshop on Stealth Node soon. Or Git claim privacy-preserving airdrop claims through proof of GitHub contributions, or a non-ADAR proof of Indian residence ID, privacy-preserving, of course. How to think when you think, okay, like these libraries look very cool, how I can use it? Some like mental model of how to think about libraries. When it comes to JSON Web Token, if you are thinking about some anonymous company feedback systems, such as Glassdoor, some private voting, private polling, this library might be handy for you. When you think about ZK email, think about what unique email strings you might want to prove. What information contained in the email, such as domain changes, reservations, hotels, plane tickets, game tickets, what you might want to generate a proof so that you can utilize it in the application. For ZK Passport, again, what information contained in the passport, you can look at your passport, can be interesting to prove. But this is just to provide a taste of what has been already built with these libraries. Now let's think, if we are like builders, we are participating in the hackathon. Now let's think about how we should think about ourselves. I will give you two main questions. The first one, current level. The second one, main goal. Meaning that to understand where we want to arrive, what we want to achieve with the hackathon, we need first to understand where we are today and what we have today. We've briefly discussed tools at our disposal, the Noir and the libraries. Now let's think about like ourselves and where we are. First in level. And it's not like strict system. You can think about your level individually, but try to think what is your Noir level. Like maybe it's complete beginner, maybe it's like some experience, maybe it's like really fluent Noir. And what is your Aztec level? Like maybe someone is good in Noir, but has never touched Aztec, and this is something that you feel curious about. And maybe you played a bit with Noir, like tutorials or something, but has never built the like application end to end. So the first thing, outline for yourself where you are in terms of your skills. Second thing, your goal. What do you want to achieve with the hackathon? It might be learning, acquiring new skills, improving existing skills. It might be having fun. I will elaborate on that later. It might be building a side project, like some side gig that you want to spend sometimes on weekends or like evenings. It can be building a company or a startup. Like maybe you are very serious about NoirHack being the starting journey, the starting point of your next big thing. Let's elaborate on each point. So if we are talking about learning, how to approach this one. Again, it's just like my suggestions. You can go your way, whatever you want. But if the goal is learning, first outline what skills you want to get. It might be very tempting to like try to get everything at once because you see Noir or you see Aztec, they look cool. You want to be proficient in them, you want to be fluent in them. Take it slowly anyway. Take it slowly anyway, outline several skills. So if you're not sure about like how to take it further, feel free to use Discord. Feel free to use NoirHack Discord and ask that, like, for example, okay, I started learning Noir. I read docs about syntaxes. I made a tutorial. I played this, I played that. What is the next thing? And we will help you to outline learning journey if you need it. Then take tutorials. Then take the awesome Noir repo and look through the projects. There are a lot of Noir projects listed there. Try building simple app, relying on the skills you want to achieve. Do not make it too complicated. Feel free to go copycat, meaning that if you can maybe take a tutorial and wrap it in something else to repeat it, or take it with an application and try to rebuild it on your own. And finally, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. If it is learning, the more questions you ask, the less you struggle. Another option is having fun. It can be also part of learning. It can be part of pet project. I just outlined it here because I think that it can be a self-sufficient category. What I mean by having fun, that you can build something that doesn't make sense as a project, but it's fun for you. For example, you might build a marketplace for shoes for fish. It doesn't make sense because fish doesn't have legs and doesn't have money and doesn't use computer. So fish will never use this marketplace. But if it's fun for you to build something for the sake of building, go for it. I think it's also a cool goal. Then building a side project, I think this is like a bit blend between building for fun and building a company. Because here, you still need some product mindset. You need to be thoughtful about what you are building. You want to ask yourself, whom is it for? Who will use it? Why they will use it? Who will pay for it? We will go to this moment in a minute. Here the question is, do you want to rely on your current skills or you want to acquire new skills? Do you want to build alone? Do you want to collaborate with someone? Do you have your idea and do you want to find people to join you, or you want to join someone on your own? All these questions to consider. And finally, building a company or a startup. Here, it will be the question of product market fit, meaning that the question what to build will be way more important. Okay, maybe not way more important, but it's the first question. The first question will be what to build. So before we jump to the part discussing what to build and how to look for product market fit, let's stop on these questions. And if you're not sure what to build, ask yourself these questions and it will become way easier. So the first one, we've discussed my current level. The second one, my main goal. The third one, do I want to learn new skills or I want to rely on already existing skills? What are the tools at my disposal, like libraries, that I'm curious to touch, want to learn maybe? Finally, what I'm going to build. Maybe the question I've missed is, do I want to build alone? Or do I want to build with a team? And if I want to start my own team or join someone? Yeah, and also I just want to amplify that if there are folks at NoirHack that seriously or unseriously consider starting a company, or a startup, this is a really cool opportunity for you, because we have in the end the demo day where we will have where you can pitch to IOSG, Paradigm, and A6D. This is really a wow opportunity. But there will be only a few teams who will be invited to pitch there. So if you consider even a bit starting a company, consider thinking about it more seriously right now, because the level should be very decent to make it to the pitch day. But believe me, it's worth it. If I don't know, I think it's a very unique opportunity. So if you think about starting a company, this is really cool opportunity. And now let's talk about how to find ideas with product market fit. It's not easy. Sometimes it takes founders and companies months and even years to find the product market fit, but I will give you several hints that might give you some directions. In general, when we think about like starting a company, founding a startup, coming up with a product, mostly it's about there is some problem or pain, how it's called, meaning that something exists in the world and people suffer with it. And we know how to fix it. So like this is product market fit. So how to think about it? What we have in our case with Noir, with maybe AdState, we have a programmable client-side on-chain privacy. The first area to look in, to fish in, is existing on-chain applications. So far, most blockchain applications are transparent. We are talking about Ethereum, for example, transparent blockchain, everything, everyone sees everything. So the first thing to think about is if we can add privacy to existing blockchain application, and adding privacy will make it 10x better. This is a very, very important point. You can think about it that like, how to know if added on-chain privacy adds enough value? Will people be willing to pay for it more money? It might be a bit tempting to say, okay, we can just add privacy to whatever, and it will become better because now it's private. But it's a bit more nuanced. So yeah, be cautious here. The second thing, what if we add client-side on-chain privacy for Web2? Again, a lot of, like Web2 is almost infinite, a lot of applications, a lot of domains, thinking about what problems exist in there can be fixed with client-side on-chain privacy. And here also there is a caution that it might feel sometimes that if we add privacy, it becomes better. Like I think a lot of people know Farcaster or like these on-chain social applications. Like several years ago, everyone was like, okay, it's just people can own the content. We just take application like Twitter and make it user-owned. And then you see all these applications and you see that they don't really have a lot of traction or a lot of retention, meaning that very often people like to complain about the problem, but it's not a real problem, meaning that they're not, for example, ready to really pay for solving it. So whenever you think about like if the problem is real, think if people are ready to fix it. And the third approach, a bit like special one, let's call it, think about on-chain privacy as a feature in a vacuum. Meaning, do not think about existing products either like in Web2 or on-chain. Think just like what problems in the universe the on-chain privacy can fix. This approach from product perspective might be a bit arguable because often people say that like you first need to take the problem or the pain, and then you need to solve it. But we are dealing here with an emerging technology, both blockchain and zero knowledge proofs. And sometimes emerging technology goes faster than the market goes. So I think that in our case, this approach is also viable. How to look for domains for exploration. Also, like 2 hints just to narrow down the set of options. First one, go for things you care. Like personally care. It can be anything. Maybe someone cares about the future of humanity outside of the Earth, and they would like to take a look at what is happening in the space tech. What are the main problems, the main issues? Maybe someone cares about solving the hunger problem in the world and would like to take a look at synthetic protein production. Whatever you personally feel like you care about, go there, read some articles, watch some videos, maybe some lectures, maybe recordings of the conferences. Look at what are the main problems people are facing there, what they're discussing, and maybe it will give you some thoughts how you can apply their on-chain privacy, client-side on-chain privacy. Another option is following the hype, meaning that if the market is emerging and fast growing, there might be many problems to tackle. Here, I will give a small caution that sometimes if something becomes a buzzword, such as AI today, it means that it's already not early stage market, it's already like emerging market. But something like, again, synthetic protein production or space tech, in my opinion, they're still like early stage emerging markets, so worth looking into it. Yeah, some just side notes on searching for product market fit. First of all, it's not easy. It's not to say that in a week it's possible to fully do it, but it's a good opportunity to start. But just if it doesn't click immediately, it's fine. It's a hard problem. Second point, sometimes in the beginning, good product is not obvious. For example, not most, but a lot of AI companies have started in like 2003 or 2004. At that moment, the internet penetration was incredibly low. The smartphone penetration was incredibly low. And the idea of running some models on some big data, there was no big data at all. And it was absolutely not obvious that like every human will produce tons of data in 20 years. So something also to consider. And finally, think on your own. If you see the idea and like everyone tells you, oh yeah, you should go for it, ask them why they do not go for it. Or if you see something and it looks for you like obvious, think about why no one has done it so far. The answer might be that, for example, it's not a real problem, or that there are like some technical serious issues, so on and so forth. Again, some optional advice on how to tackle it. Stay realistic, ambitious, but realistic. Couple of steps at a time. Collaborate with other people. Plan the scope, because it seems like it's long 1 month, but it's already the second week, and just plan every week. You can plan several milestones every week, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. So that at the end of the hackathon, you are happy that you did what you wanted to do. Let's have fun. Whatever you do, have fun. You want to build solo, build with friends, build with random strangers, and acknowledge the progress, your own progress of other people. Share with us what you have learned, what you have built. You have Discord, you have proof of proof, I think, channel on Discord. Share there what you have done. Share on media. We will celebrate it with you. We will be very happy to see the progress. And it will be just more fun. It will feel better. Very, very important. Don't suffer alone. Suffer with friends. Suffer with other people. I want to take this moment for a couple of minutes. We have a Discord channel, and there is a channel introductions for everyone on this webinar who hasn't written the introduction yet. Please go right now, take a minute or two, and write an introduction, because it allows other people to see you. It allows other people to see what you do, to collaborate with you. Please write down like your name, what are your skills, what you are building, what you plan to build, what you are looking for, what you need, what you care about, what you are afraid of, what are your pets, whatever you want to say. Say there, do not suffer alone, suffer with friends. It really helps. And I will just use this time to look through questions maybe. And then we will jump to the next part of our workshop. Someone asked, how possible is it to build a startup with zero knowledge? When you have Noir, I would say definitely possible. Still requires a lot of effort, but my personal opinion that today is a unique moment to build applications with zero knowledge, because you already have great tooling like Noir, but you're still early, meaning that you have advantage in front of other people who do not know Noir, who maybe are not aware of it, and so on and so forth. And we have also examples of companies that that build with Noir their products. How can we search for the ideas and infrastructure, like the implementation of DK and VM, significantly increase the performance? I think here you have to collaborate maybe with people who are more research side or who are deeper into infra and who can brainstorm with you these ideas. If you have any particular ideas and you are considering like, is it worth doing or not? You can also bring them to Discord and discuss it with us and discuss it with other people. But my main answer for this question and many other questions will be, if you're not sure in something, go and discuss it with people. Find more experienced people, find more knowledgeable people, or just other people. Discussing ideas with people always give you more understanding and more depth. I'm saying we need more apps. We definitely need. I agree with you. Okay, I think we can continue, and I hope that a lot of people have written their introductions, because yes, it's hackathon, but you also can just meet cool people and make new friends. Oops. Oh yeah. So privacy on Ethereum, what can be built? Now we are going to be a bit more precise for people who want more concrete ideas. Just like some verticals where privacy makes difference. DeFi, private voting, governance, pan-social applications, account abstraction. Account abstraction, I should note that it makes sense with Aztec, not just Noir, airdrop claims, and whatever comes to your mind. Let's focus on three verticals. But again, the rule of the hackathon, build whatever you want with Noir. Just we focus on these verticals as example. Identity, social, and virality. Some ideas of what can be built with identity. Academic credential verification, professional certification validation, location-based verification, organizational role verification, government ID verification, and so on and so forth. Whenever you want to authorize someone or identify someone, might make a lot of sense to use Noir. Think about it. Second, social, private voting, private polling, anonymous coordination, whistleblower channels, private team retrospective, anonymous company feedback, private discussion forums. All in all, you want some interaction of people where they will benefit a lot from privacy. For example, if we are talking about like feedback system, if people know that the system is anonymous, their incentive to be truthful in their feedback is way higher because they know that like their manager or whoever doesn't have any opportunity to know that this is them who posted the message. The third category is virality, private token launch, hidden balance systems for whales, anonymous airdrop mechanisms, private treasury management tools, hidden allocation management, anonymous bidding systems, and so on and so forth. We can also combine them. Like if we combine identity and social, we can have, for example, private workplace reviews with employment verification, or anonymous restaurant reviews with reservation proof using ZK email. If we combine social and virality, we can have, for example, chat room for L2 holder, anonymous market signal sharing. If we combine identity and virality, we can have, for example, developer programs with proven contributions and rewards, concurrent networking with verified attendance and token benefits. And I'm sure you can come up with way more different examples. If you need a framework, like if you need to rely on something to make decision what to build, take one of these categories, take one of the libraries you want to play with, take a couple of friends, and in a couple of hours, you will come up with what to build. Another important point is how to qualify for the hackathon. What's your project, which checks your project should match? First, it should work. Banal, but just some code is not enough. This code should work. It should be deployed somewhere. Again, your options are Aztec, Starknet, and EVM chains. It should have interface, meaning that just Noir construct is not enough. We expect your application to be an application with interface. It should have realistic time proving, meaning that, again, it depends on the particular case, but it might be like maybe under a minute or something like that. Proving time of 10 hours does not sound like good UX. It would have potential product market fit, what we have been talking about most of this presentation, and it should have some demo so that people who will judge can get more understanding of your product, how it works, how you planned it, and so on and so forth. And remember, we have demo day at the end, where just several teams will be invited to pitch to VCs. Be serious about all these checkpoints if you want to qualify for this event. And yeah, Rafi, you want to take it from here?
Sure, yeah, happy to take it from here. So, let's talk about one of these more, I guess like maybe the most exciting part for some of you, which is the prizes and opportunities available for building even after this event. So we got a great pool of prizes thanks to both Aztec, but then also thanks to our ecosystem partners. So we have first up the prizes directly from Aztec. So we have a general track with cash prizes for the top three overall projects. So that will be 10K, 6K, and 4K for first, second, and third place. And then beyond just that main track, we have a pool of 10 to 20K that's specifically for technical excellence. So for in that group, we're looking for outstanding achievements in like UX and usability, in like innovation and novelty, just like really interesting and cool use cases. And then also for technical implementation, for just really impressive technical implementations. That could be Noir, it could be also Aztec smart contracts. And then finally, we have a big pool for future development grants. So we're looking not just in this event, but beyond this event. We want to support teams who are excited about and building with Noir. And so we have like 60K earmarked for those projects. This is not just cash, it'll be supporting your teams to help build longer term. So this could be like funding beyond this, connecting you with VCs. Obviously, we'll do that through the demo day, but even beyond that, mentorship, technical help, especially if you're building something with real world potential. So in the chat, we were talking about how now is the time we think for people to really start building with ZK. And so we want to support teams who are actually doing that. I think now with the libraries that you'll see in the workshops that we have in NoirHack, with some of the stuff Lisa talked about now, like you can build a real app. And if you're able to do that and at least even start, or you just have the idea, we want to support you to be able to do that long term. Lisa, you can go to the next slide. And then we also have prizes from the partners. So we have StarkNet, who's offering significant opportunities. So they're offering a 25K Noir wrapper seed program. So that will be for specifically building with Noir. They're encouraging folks to build with Noir and Garga and deploy on StarkNet. They also have their general seed program where they're also still interested in privacy use cases. These could be more broad and general. They could maybe be Aztec related. You could also apply with your Noir and Garga work to both, depending on what StarkNet gauges. They could apply for the general seed program more so than the wrapper. But they're also beyond just these awards, which they'll share more details around the specific named awards in the build weeks. You can also expect some support from them around like deployment and then direct connection with the StarkNet team. So if you're excited about like building with Noir on StarkNet, those grants should be really exciting to you as they'll mean like an intro to the StarkNet team to work kind of in a longer term way, just like our grants would. Kusama has also allocated a 50K RFP that's around privacy that we'll share in the program during the build weeks. And so if your project tackles any privacy related challenges in their ecosystem, definitely look into this. There'll be also maybe some more specific bounties shared and named prizes in the build weeks. And then finally, WorldCoin and Aptos are also engaged partners. They've had some they've had workshops and other resources that they'll share. World is actually doing a workshop tomorrow with DC Builder, who I'm a big like fanboy of, basically. So I actually got to talk to him today, and he'll be sharing tomorrow. While they've not confirmed prize pools specifically yet, stay alert in the Discord for any like named prizes they may do and potential bounties. And then in general, just like with StarkNet, with us, and with Kusama, if you are able to work on and win a prize in any way, this isn't just the end like some hackathons might be. This is more a beginning where now you can continue to build and work with some of those teams. So if you build with World, there's a very good likelihood that you'll be able to continue to work with them. They'll be excited by what you're building and you can engage with their team. Cool. Yeah, I think we have a good amount of time now for questions. I saw some folks were asking stuff around like knowing what to build. If you have specific ideas, maybe you're like challenged by like, oh, should I do this or this? Or, like someone was asking about like, should I build a wrapper around something that exists? Or should I just start with something novel? If you have examples of what you're thinking through, we could maybe, me and Lisa both could help you think through some of those so we can spend the rest of the time kind of answering some of these questions. So I'll start with this one in the Q&A. And also in general, if you guys can use the Q&A, it's just easier for us to answer. Then like I can look on there and then we can answer async and then it's just easier for us to like view the questions. But I saw one from Octavio. He said, I'm particularly interested in Aptos because I had an idea which requires performance calculations in mind. Besides the details being not yet scoped, do we know if there will be some form of Aptos prize? So I can say right now there will not be an like explicit prize that they've defined. They're working with us in the longer term. There may be some potential to build with Aptos in the longer term. They have not deployed a verifier yet, which makes it actually quite challenging to build on Aptos in the current moment. They're working on a verifier now that'd be official. There are verifiers that exist for certain backends that are open source, I believe, that you could use. So whatever you build with Aptos would probably be more of a proof of concept, which I think like we are okay with, Aptos is okay with. But they're not explicit prizes. It would more be if you're especially excited about their ecosystem, this would be a good way to engage with their team. Their team is actively following NoirHack, and they are also working on a verifier that will hopefully be released in the next like couple of months. They're working with our Noir PM, Savio, on coordinating some details there. But yeah, it's still worth it to try to explore and build something with Aptos. Another question, what if we are creating a web app that is planning to use multiple networks that work with Noir? Do we focus on a specific focal point of the web app or architecture in order to have a good chance of moving forward? I don't know if I fully understand this question. Do we focus on a specific focal point of the web app or architecture in general? So I would think about it as what is the web app attempting to achieve, and can it achieve it well and in an interesting way? So if it does connect with multiple networks, why? What is the purpose of doing that? And is that purpose useful, meaningful, exciting to the user? So I would think more so, because I think oftentimes, especially in hackathons, people are more interested in like integrating a bunch of different ecosystems, a lot of times because of bounties. I would instead ask you to consider like why you're trying to integrate it and what does the value that you unlock like what is that value? Like, is it now really useful because you have all of these different ecosystems, or is it more like, oh, it's just cool? That could also be interesting, but like, what does that enable for the user? I would ask you to think about that more. What kind of things is Aztec looking for grants? We're working on a shielded bridge. So we're looking for interesting use cases that showcase especially cross-chain functionality. I would say more broadly with Aztec, where we see ourselves differentiating versus other privacy chains is one, Noir. We see Noir as like this very powerful universal language. That's why we're running this program where you can deploy across ecosystems, and where we see Noir accruing all this value, building like powerful libraries. Some of the libraries, we will have workshops for in this work in this hackathon, and then we'll have more and more libraries that maybe even come out of NoirHack. Maybe some of you are exploring different ways to do things that end up becoming robust libraries other people use. So Noir is part of it, and the other part is cross-chain, where we see Aztec not just copy pasting and doing a bunch of like AMM dexes like everyone else does, but being this tool that others can use across different L2s and chains. So any kind of use cases that can enable like novel apps in this new design space that we see with like hybrid state, not just private, but hybrid state, that can, especially help you solve problems across chains. That's what I'm especially excited to see. And we'll actually, towards the end of NoirHack, we'll launch another program that's focused specifically on that. So more details will come out then. But even within NoirHack, if you are interested in Aztec, I would encourage you to explore that space. And there will be potential prizes for folks who are building Noir smart contracts. Okay, for the demo day, can the project be ran in Aztec sandbox test environment? Yes, it can be. It can be. But for any future grants, so I'd mentioned that there's these three pools for future grants, and for any potential like long-term stuff, you would be asked to deploy on testnet, or at least deploy on our DevNet. Yeah, and in general, I would say like with demo day, it's okay if things don't work perfectly. Like if you're using imperfect data, like if you're using ZK email, but you kind of have to like have a like somewhat fake like email to show your use case, that's okay. So stuff like that where you can kind of improve the demo, but things don't work exactly, but you know that if you had more time, you could improve it. Those types of things are totally acceptable for the demo. If you don't think that you could ever make it work, then obviously that won't work. Then that's just lying. But if you can show that like, hey, right now this is what I have. It doesn't work exactly, but I know if I had like, especially if you had a few months, because again, like with this demo, we're trying to encourage you to build something that maybe you work on for years and raise, many millions even. So that means that you could directly have a lot of time to build it out. So we're okay with you just showing something more basic and then talking about what could potentially be built. Cool. Uh, nice. And then yeah,
Okay,
Lisa.
I will
Oh, go ahead.
at the moment that I put my Telegram into the chat. If you feel like you have any doubts or concerns about what to build from product perspective, if you want to discuss your ideas, feel free to message me and we will find time. And I'm more than happy to help you with that. And again, ask questions. Discord is for that.
Yeah, likewise. I'll share my TG also. And then Discord, you can even just DM me, especially if you're thinking about ideas and you're trying to get more feedback on them. Um, yeah, I guess we can give you guys another couple of minutes to ask any questions you have. Hopefully this was helpful, especially this last Q&A. Thank you guys for asking questions. And with some of the stuff during the build weeks, we'll have some engagement. Since we won't have any workshops, we'll have different threads and announcements sharing more details, trying to get you guys engaged about whatever prizes that will come out. And there'll be more details around stuff like the StarkNet seed program and their wrapper program. Okay, throughout the hackathon, another question. Throughout the hackathon, where do we showcase our progress? What social media accounts do we tag? Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Telegram stories. So in general, I would say Twitter or X is our primary way of showcasing progress and social media. So if you can tag just the NoirLang, like at NoirLang account, that is great. We want to see more engagement and tags to that account. Also, feel free to tag other Aztec folks. You could tag me, you could tag Lisa, you could tag other people who you were excited by or you're working with or had conversations with. And then also there's the Aztec account. So if you're doing like smart contract stuff, you can tag Aztec. I think like our CMO does not like hashtags. I don't really have a preference. But I guess in general, just try to tag those accounts. And I would say, yeah, Twitter or X is the primary way. um, there's also Farcaster, I think, if any of you guys are on there. I have a Farcaster. I've forgotten what it is. I think it might be the same as my Twitter. But if you're on there, DM me. And yeah, we should share some NoirHack stuff on Farcaster too. Cool. Cool. Any more questions from anyone? Could be anything. Could also just be around like NoirHack in general, like operational stuff or hey, I'm stuck or hey, I don't understand what to do. Cool. If not, well, thank you, Lisa. This was great. I think this might be the best session that like because we had the workshops outside of the workshops. The workshop was like more specific and technical. We've only had these other few that are like I get like this is the best one. That's just like on the content and how to think about things.
Happy to be useful.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks everyone. Shoot Lisa TG and tell her thanks for the great presentation. Bye
Good
guys.
luck, everyone.
Good luck.
Bye bye.